evening and welcome to the Darkmom Consortium for November the 11th, 2021. I'm Mom. And I know I said it's the Darkmom Consortium, but at the moment I think it's more momish than it is darkish. Maybe that's because it's still daylight out in Arizona. Except I know he's there because I can see him right there. He's right there. But is he right here? No. No, he is not. It's just me. So I'm going to go into the We Are live stream, so hang on a second. Okay, we're up in the We Are live now. For those of you who've been joining us past 3 nights when we've been doing the Iconian Arc, we're up to the last 3 episodes. So tonight we are going to be finishing up with... Did we do Time in a Bottle last night? Yeah, I think we finished Time in a Bottle. So we have Broken Circle, Butterfly, my favorite episode, and Midnight, which is one of my favorite episodes. I really like that one. And in between this, after getting home from work, after working crazy number of hours the last 2 days, making up for a couple of sick days, I did catch up and finish the Romulan arc on this tune as well this week. So I have done, on this poor tune, we've done Cardassian Struggle, Borg Advance, New Romulus, Solanae. Have we done Solanae on this tune? No, we haven't done Solanae. So we just finished up New Romulus. So on this tune I've got Solanae, Delta, and Iconian, and then this whole last section here. So we got a heck of a way to go on this one, which I'm not looking forward to. Let me grab my notepad here. Nope, wrong books. No notepad there. They're in the other room. Oh, well. That is life. Endeavors are done. If anybody needs to run the RAs, we can certainly do that. And since I think we're now out of the double XP, we can certainly level any ships if you guys want to. It just won't be quite as fast. Though I think we did a good job yesterday. And I also ran all of the ground missions here, so got a chunk of dilithium out of it. Let's go get rid of some of this stuff, though, before DT comes on and starts moaning and groaning about, Mom, you've got too much junk in your trunk. Hi, Cadargo. How are you? Sorry about not being on this morning. My internet went out about 3 this morning. And after a fairly substantial amount of griping to Xfinity, it came back on, and they're like, well, what's the problem? Have you considered doing this? Dudes, you've got a massive notice out that you've got issues. No matter what I do, if you're telling me you have system problems, I can plug in all my stuff and restart it, but it's not going to change anything. Oh, do I want to get rid of my inhibiting Polaron compression pistols? Yeah, probably not. I don't need that. I do want that. Do I need the fudge for the Christmas event, for the winter event? Do we use the fudge for anything? I can't remember. Let's take you over here. You can have that. And you can have that. And Sarati needs some help. We definitely need some new equipment for these guys. They're getting killed way too easily. I continue to slowly move all this junk out of there, just so DT will stop complaining. Here I'm talking smack about him, and he doesn't even show up to defend himself. Alright, do I need a shield recharge? Is that something I've got here? Maybe I'll keep that one. Maybe I'll keep the Chronoton Mind Barrier while I'm at it. And I've got all this junk here. Okay, does that look prettier now? Does that look prettier? Hey, WC! That's a really good question, Mar Hawkman. The things I'm trying to keep are the ones that you can't replicate, that you need to get, and you need as part of the Christmas recipe. So the gree worms, I think it's Udaberries. What else do you need? Trixian bubble juice. So just recipe ingredients. Be fun if they came up with some new recipes this year. Wouldn't that be nice? I could dream up some new recipes for them. Let's see, we could have Leola root gingerbread cookies. Leola root cookies, perhaps, instead of gingerbread cookies. There was a time, Mar Hawkman, when 50-cent candy bars were the big candy bars. Yes, it is. If I pick it up here in a mission, I'm just going to snag it. Hopefully I'll get all my tunes done with their Christmas stuff, or all of my old tunes at least done with their Christmas stuff this year. But that means I'm going to be running a lot of, let's see, the Krampus, and then the, oh God, what's the one where you fight the snowmen and the Snowverlord at the end, and you have to go running through the little village? Bubble juice is boba tea. So here's the question, WC. What is boba tea? I go to the places and they've got, we've got the tea with the black pearls in it, and I have no idea what they are. And I don't know anyone who's actually ever had any of it. No, it's not Tide of Ice. It's not the Snowconian fight. It's the one where you have to queue for it, and you defeat. You have to save the gingerbread men. You get the gingerbread ones, and you can pick up candy, and you get a recipe every time, and you get a little box of favors. Village, yeah, that one, the village queue. There is a place, WC, who makes great Thai rolled ice cream, which I love, and they have boba tea. But if I had my choice between a boba tea that I don't know what it tastes like and their unbelievable Thai rolled ice cream, I'm getting the darn Thai rolled ice cream. And they make, that's what I thought. Whatever their ice creams are, one of their traditional toppings is sweetened condensed milk. And that's kind of turned into the heroine of dessert toppings for me. It's just like, oh yeah, bring it. Bring it, baby. Bring me my sweetened condensed milk. So good. Well, somebody needs to talk to me, apparently. But not urgently, because they didn't leave a message. Oh well. Grass jelly. I have no idea what that is. So, has anybody heard when the winter event will be starting? Excuse me. Nope. It started last year on December 8th, so we probably have close to a month before it starts. Yay. Gives me some time to get this stuff done. Oh. Okay. The Japanese bakery at the Japanese grocery store makes the best red bean paste buns. But it's in a very light yeast dough rather than a dessert type thing. So it's a little sweet, but not a lot sweet. But they also make a white bean paste one. And occasionally, but not too often, green bean paste, which is delicious. And then during the spring, they make salted cherry blossom buns, which again, just super atypical in the, what you're getting for flavor. It's a hint of cherry, a little bit of salt, and something else. And they had pumpkin rolls when I was there the other day, which I'm not going to recommend. They were food. food is not really, food is not terribly exciting. It is. It is. When there used to be a huge anime convention there in the pre-COVID days, in the 2 days prior to the convention, they would be sold out of everything from the pastry shop, every box of, what's the cookie?
I don't know.
What's the long Japanese cookie called that you get in a box? Come on, somebody help me with that. Pocky. It's Pocky. Thank you. It is Pocky. So they would be completely sold out of Pocky and pastries for the few days leading up to everything. Much fun was had in those good old days.
Sounds like an anime convention.
It is. Anime Central. It usually ran from Thursday to Sunday, and we'd check in Thursday night, spend like 2 hours unpacking all of our costumes. Friday we'd get the full regalia on the entire costume, and Saturday we'd wear most of the costume, and Sunday, who cares about the costume?
Sounds like a Star Trek convention.
And it does.
What the hell are we going to do for a costume? Oh, screw it, who cares?
Yeah, I think for this upcoming one, I know you've got more costume plans than I do, but I think I'm going to make a Romulan-esque costume if I can get everything set up for the artifact.
Plan's going to really depend on a few things like work and stuffs.
Yep. Isn't that the way of life?
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to get some overtime in the next couple of weeks, and I'll try and stash that money towards investing in Star Trek features.
Technically, right now, I'm going to get a little bit overtime this week already.
Wow, really?
Well, I had to go in Monday. I had to go in Monday, 6 out. And it ended up being like 6.5 hours counting the training.
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday, another 6 hours of training. Wednesday, Tuesday was 6 hours, 6.5. Wednesday was 6 hours. Thursday, today was 6 hours, and I do an 8-hour shift Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You got an extra day this week then.
Right. I don't know how I'm going to sign in, mind you, because the tablet they gave me, they forgot to put the SIM chip in there. So it can't connect to anything, so I'm going to probably have to try to do this over my phone. Which would be a pain in the butt. I don't have to shadow people on Monday, and hopefully all this stuff will get done. I better bring the little key thing to unlock the little thing for the SIM card, because just get the feeling that could be forgotten too.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, let's go blow up some Zenkethi. First place it has installed out.
We could help you with killing Zenkethi if you'd like.
I got 5 ships.
Yeah, I had 5 Zenkethi. I got up at 3 this morning. I couldn't get back to sleep. I think after 6 days of just basically sleeping and doing very little else. This week, or today, I was just completely sleeped out. Got up. Oh, great! I can go play Star Trek and catch up on stuff. No internet. So,
of course.
Yeah. So I guess it came on.
Your internet's telling you that you had to go to work.
Yeah. So I did. I went in and worked 9 3/4 hours, and then brought home some more. So I should have 10 hours today, 10.5 hours today, 9 hours yesterday, and 8 hours tomorrow, which isn't a lot, but it means I don't have to take a full 16 hours of PTO. Okay, well, we're going to get the Iconian fun going here. I don't know if we're going to have Pi tonight. It would be nice to see him, but it is his vacation, and he does have to kind of take care of himself because, he needs to take care of himself.
Yeah.
We all do.
Of course we do. Very important to take care of yourself. And it's also very important not to murder people.
Yeah, actually today was a very good day for not murdering people. I got to work at 6 before anybody else got there. And people started filtering in between 6:30 and 7. And about 7:30, the head of engineering came in and looked like garbage. He goes, "Oh, here's a receipt for some pizza I bought last night." I'm like, "Why did you buy pizza last night?" Well, apparently the water main to our sprinkler system died a couple of days ago. And by yesterday morning, it was shooting a 20-foot geyser of water up through the parking lot. So they had to get people in to fix it. They fixed it for about 2 hours. Then they had to fix it again. Then they had to excavate this massive hole and fix it again. So they finished fixing it at about 2 in the morning with 500 pounds of concrete and enough parts. They got a hardware store to open up in the middle of the night so they could get all the parts they needed. And that worked until about 7 this morning and started all over again. And then it started raining.
Of course.
Of course. So,
Well, the good thing about concrete is rain. Once you get it all set up and put in, rain just helps cure it some more, unless you get gallons and gallons and hundreds of gallons of rain.
We were getting hundreds of gallons of rain. It was coming down so hard at one point you could not see the parking lot. It was raining, and then it stopped. But it's still meh.
And St. Kathy ships are officially done. Okay, so my dailies are done. Yay.
Yay!
If I get another random disconnect, because I've been getting a few of them also tonight, I may just go leave for a few minutes, leave for about 15, 20 minutes, reset everything.
Okay.
Well, see if that solves the problem.
Why don't you see if that solves the problem, and when you get back, we will go ahead and start up the Iconian Arc.
All right. I suppose I can do that. Get out of the game. And I will catch you in a bit.
Okie dokie. So we're going to have a little bit earlier of a hard stop tonight because of my getting up at 3 in the morning and having a massively long day tomorrow. So we're going to knock off at 9:30, but we should have plenty of time to get all 3 episodes run tonight. In the meantime, if anybody needs to do any red alerts or any endeavors, hopefully everybody got the Tholians done yesterday, but if not, we can do that today too. And yes, I am drinking coffee even though I need to go to bed early tonight. But I have everything packed and ready to take out to my car in the morning so I can head off to Chicago. Yay. At some point tomorrow. Yay. Well, I've done all the ground missions here. I haven't done the accolades. We'll do those next week. And since DT will be doing his work stuff next week, Monday, I will trust in him to get everything started. I will be on, but a little bit later. Regular show on Tuesday. Wednesday, I will be out of town, so I won't be doing a show. Probably take that night off. Thursday, regular hours. Friday, no show. And then, in theory, the week of Thanksgiving, 22nd, 23rd, and 24th, we probably, 22nd and 23rd, we'll have our regular shows. 24th, probably not. Don't know. Because we'll play that week by ear. Don't really know what's going on. Just crazy with the holidays getting there. Hey, Hobo Hunter, how are you doing? Delisi, somebody has suggested that making a to-do list becomes self-defeating because now that you've done the to-do list, you don't actually have to do it. So you have to kind of think about creating lists of things you want to achieve. Not things you want to do, but things you want to achieve. Yeah! Okay, that's why we didn't tell you, Hobo Hunter. That's why we have the no spoilers rule for people who are just coming back. But isn't that great? Somebody said, oh, I'm not going to tell you what's going on. Just play to the end, and whatever you do, don't jump out of it before you see the end. Okay. And oh my gosh. That was awesome. And it really leaves it open to what are we going to do next time? What's our next episode? I want to say it was Duffy, but it might have been Mar Hawkman who mentioned, did you notice they've got the little light thingy at the base of their throat? And after her comments about having to discipline people to learn how to do things the right way, you have to wonder, how did she control them? Because, of course, being the inherently good person you are, you would never do that.
I know I mentioned that once. I may not be the only person who did.
It might have been you. It was either you or Duffy who mentioned it to me. But yeah, and I keep playing the episode over and over and getting the little clues out of the dialogue about, what are we going to do?
See, because that's one of those things where, because of the fact that I was using it for the whole like daily thing, so you play the mission now and then turn it in when the time is right, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I played it several dozen times.
Well, I was alternating doing Firewall or Jabberwocky because I could run Jabberwocky with a high-powered tune in 4 minutes, and that just became my do it on every tune, zip through it, and then you just wake up, click the button, and go back to bed. Hobo Hunter, what have you got for a ship? And maybe we can help you through with it a little bit tonight while we're waiting to play. First of all, what ship have you got? More accurately, what ship have you got and what have you got for its equipment? Is it AP, Polaron, TET, disruptors, phaser, plasma? And I think tonight, Mar Hawkman, we are going to start with, not Time in a Bottle, the one after Time in a Bottle. Broken Circle. Yeah, that'll be our first one.
Oh, I spelled it wrong when I typed it up in in-game chat. Oops.
Borkin Circle. Yes, it's the Borkin Circle.
Well.
Okay, the Alliance ship is actually a really nice ship, Hobo Hunter. So if you want to stick with that one, I was really happy with it. I was surprised at how well it went. All right, what kind of weapons are you using? Oh, good choice. Phaser beam. And you're just squishy? So, Mar Hawkman, without knowing any specifics, can you think of ways to make a phaser beam build a little bit better? First of all, do you have the phasers that are out of what series is it? Is it out of the Sunrise?
Oh, I know there's some consoles that give you a boost of phaser damage that you can put in things that aren't tactical slots.
Yeah.
That helps a good bit.
Well, isn't there a phaser set that you can pick out of one of the missions? And I'm trying to remember which one it's out of.
I would have to look up the names in the wiki because I don't remember off the top of my head.
I'm thinking of the set out of Future Proof, where you can pick up the beams, the torps, and the quantum phase converter, which increases your phaser damage. And that's a free set. And what is it out of?
Hey, I actually did that on this character. Huh?
Oh, I like that one, yeah. Yeah, actually, that's not a bad thing to run Sunrise and Stormbound. You'd have to run it a total of 6 times, but they're not terribly difficult. It'll give you a decent equipment set and a decent ship set in and of itself. From there, obviously, phase array, what the hell are they called? The tactical slots? Not the induction coil.
I don't remember. Phaser something.
The phaser something, yeah.
I mean, most people use the Spire consoles anyways for the extra bonus stat that gives you.
Hobo Hunter, what fleet are you in? Okay, yeah, put it on the forum. We'd be happy to help you. We can give you some advice. And if you need access to like the Spire and the Colony stores, we can definitely help you with that. Perfect. Good, because we're fully set up in that one and can get you over there to get what you need. That said, the last time I looked, there was a set of 32nd century phaser beam arrays that were sitting in there. They may be gone by now, but if they're there and you're in the fleet and you're at least a commander, you can have them. We've lost DT for quite a while here.
Hey.
Hello. Alrighty, Hobo. Take your time. We're not going anywhere for a couple hours at least. And how are you tonight? Oh. Well, that was a funny sound. Is everybody still there?
I am.
Oh, good. Yeah, I got this weird sound. I didn't know if it was somebody leaving or...
It sounded like someone joined and then immediately disconnected.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like to me too. But I was chatting with Ed earlier, yesterday, so quite a bit earlier, and my Discord just died. This was just before Xfinity went out, so it must have been on Tuesday night. And then we finished our chat and Xfinity just crashed. And then it crashed again this morning, so Xfinity and I may be parting ways very shortly. Because I can get Comcast that's a little bit steadier. No, Comcast is Xfinity. What's the other one? AT&T.
Tested 1 2, testing 1 2.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, here's someone.
Hey, Jack Card here.
I know. How you doing, Jack?
Pretty decent.
Good.
Finally got this darn microphone to work.
Yeah.
Oh no, you should have seen me and Nord. We were trying to figure it out, and we were both getting a little frustrated with it.
Oh, good. Well, I used to chat with WC, or we'd try to chat for business stuff, and about 60% of the time my mic simply would not work. And it was just so darn frustrating.
Yeah, a while back I had an old... Sorry, my dog wants to play.
Chucky, hi, woof woof.
But a while back I found an old microphone my grandmother used to use. I was using it for a while, then it crapped out, then I got a cheap one at work.
Uh-huh.
It's actually working. I'm shocked.
Oh, good.
Yeah, $15. I ain't complaining.
Yeah, technology's gotten to the point where it's so cheap. We picked up... Do I have any here? I don't have them here. I do have them here. We picked up some gaming headsets for Vegas, and I needed one for work because they gave me a camera for my desktop. They didn't give me a mic or a headset for it, so I just said, I'll grab that. It's actually better than this one that I'm wearing right now. That was $15. This was about $250. Of course,
mine was like it's 2 earbuds with a boom mic that can plug in, and it's $12.
Hey, you make that sound bad.
I honestly have never looked up how much the mic and headset I'm currently using would cost to actually buy them new, because I got them secondhand. I don't even know who got rid of them. They just like
Really?
Yeah, it's just one of those. It's like, okay, you're just going to leave this here in the free bin. Sure, whatever.
Just say yes, thank you.
Well, one of them. Okay, I guess technically it was what. It was a weird one because it's like technically what the person is, they moved out and then there was this stuff they left behind, and
oh yeah,
it's just like, okay, now what? Kind of soon, you know.
Don't ever diss that. Diss it when people leave stuff behind, because a friend of mine actually retired off of something that somebody left up there.
Oh yeah.
They left he asked me to help him clean out this house he had bought, so I did. Allowed me, said I could grab a few things if I wanted them. Got a leather jacket and a couple of other things. What we found, however, was in the basement, the guy had a bunch of old magazines.
Yeah.
a bunch of old comic books also.
Oh.
Yeah, he asked, Sean, you're the comic book expert. Look at these.
I mean,
When he heard the squeak, the high-pitched squeak coming out of my mouth, he knew good and well he had a lot of money.
Yeah.
Well, also is that vintage magazines can go for quite a lot too.
They can.
As long as there's something that the buyer finds to be interesting, because it's all about how much someone wants to pay for them. Because there's a lot of old comic books that are worth $5. It's certain ones that are worth thousands.
The comic books the guy had was the first appearance of Spider-Man.
Ooh.
Yep, that'll do it.
And a bunch of other old Batmans, like we're talking first appearances of Riddler, things like that.
Were they in good shape?
Oh, they were in pretty good shape. The
Wow.
guy actually kept them locked up in a strong box, so safe from the elements. But I guess when he decided but he died, and his kids just left all that stuff. So
his kids didn't know what it was because he didn't tell them because he didn't want them to mess with it.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, needless to say, once he got him on auction, he basically said he got that house fixed up, and he just said, you know what, I'm done. I'm retiring for a while.
I mean, if you can bank enough money to get interest payments, hey.
I think when it was all said and done, he had right at close to $500,000 with all the stuff he had sold.
Wow.
And a bunch of other things. He invested a lot of it, so yeah, like I said, he was pretty well set up for a good long time. We still keep in contact, and I keep telling him, all right, do you have another house you want to clean out? I got first dibs, by the way.
Come here, my little nanovs.
Well, it's one of those things where certain kinds of collecting things you just can't. It's just
you can't get rid of them easy.
Well, it's you can't keep track of how much they're worth on the fly because of the fact that they're worth only as much as the buyer is willing to pay them, and you have to ask a prospective buyer how much they're willing to pay you for it in order to find out how much it's worth.
Exactly. I've messed a lot with the collectible world for a long time. I've got a lot of stuff that could go for a good bit. It's just that if I buy something, I'm usually going to keep it.
Yeah. I mean, buy it with the intention of it's something for you.
Exactly.
What? I only got 96. One more. Come on, baby. This way.
Doing the new Romulus missions?
Yeah. Well, it was bringing home the bacon, which is one of the few of the half-hour events that you can solo.
Yeah, if you're really good, you can coax 4 nanovs into following you at the same time,
Yep.
which, actually makes the mission completable solo.
Yes.
Otherwise, it just takes too long.
Yeah. If there's at least one other player on there, it's a piece of cake. I'm going to rephrase that. If they know what the heck they're doing, because I've actually had it not work with another player, because they wound up leaving nanovs too far apart for you to be able to pull them together. But it's really nice if you've got the mission, you do that, and then you go back and you pick them all up and you get the other one at the same time.
Someone who just doesn't even know what the point of playing with the nanovs is, so that they just lead them in circles because they don't know where to go.
Yeah, which direction is south, which is always my favorite thing. What do you mean, which direction is south? I mean, I'm really bad with left, right, east, west, but I can tell north and south apart. Maybe not much else. Well, maybe we're not going to see a W and DT tonight. He said he was going to restart, but I haven't seen him. So let's go ahead and pick up.
In game, it says Darkmom has logged on. So.
Oh, okay. Well, that is good.
Probably just hasn't logged into the system.
Also, it says Jack Cardy has logged in.
Aha.
Yep,
So
old Jack Card.
Does that mean you're going to be joining us for Broken Circle?
Yep, we're...
Sure, give me a minute to take my dog out again.
Okay, yeah, no worries.
Ready to go.
Okay, we're going to go we're going to go KDF, so grab yourself a Klingonish tune.
I don't have any KDFs at that level.
What level do you think they have to be at? They don't have to be...
No, seriously, it doesn't matter what level.
Yeah, really. Not for this.
Okay, I think I got to level 25 or something.
Good enough. Good enough. And you'll get it done, and you'll get some fun toys out of it.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, let me switch over to Old Gorn. Yeah, every character I have on this game, I played in some shape, form, or fashion in another game or something.
Yeah. Either I'm losing my vision. Well, I am losing my vision, or there's something on my glasses. Ooh, no, it's me losing my vision. That's not good. Okay.
Try not to laugh at the ship name. It was completely random, and I just got to laugh at it.
What is it?
Oh boy. I'll spell it out.
Okay.
E''NIS.
E''NIS?
Say it out
Enos.
in your head.
Enos. Enos. It's not a bad name. I've heard much worse names.
I know, it came off the randomization.
The random name generation in this game, basically you dump in a collection of syllables, and it just picks a certain number of syllables to dump into a string.
I've had some good names. I mean, my current ship for my Gorn is named Carl.
Oh,
Okay.
The one I'm currently flying came with the name Bug Tool.
Okay.
It's like, oh,
It's not a bad name.
I mean, it's one of those things where if someone I always say misheard it, they might mistake it for something else, but you know.
Yeah, I'd say no more. All right, let me go get that cigarette right quick and all that, and I will see y'all in a minute.
Okay. Okay, give me a second. I'm going to go refill my coffee and clean my glasses, because right now I'm seeing weirdness. I'll be right back. Oh, sorry about that. So I've got a front light here to kind of illuminate my face, because otherwise the overhead light puts me in a big shadow. And it's right at the angle where it's in my eyes, and all I can see is this bright white light. How's that? Oh, that's much better. Good. And that's definitely helping with the double vision, so yay.
Well, having a weird reflection on your glasses never makes it easier to see, that's for sure.
No, it really doesn't. And with the amount of work I do every day on a computer, having anything mucking up my vision, it's just like, spreadsheets?
The worst I've ever had is a little bit of wind-blown dust that you don't notice until the light hits it at right angle, and then suddenly you're blinded.
Yeah. Well, I can tell it's not my glasses, because even with my glasses off, I have that weird little prismatic thing, which I'm hoping is just from the lights here. Otherwise, That's not good.
Cataracts.
Well, cataracts usually aren't a line going diagonally. They're more the pinpoint in the center.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't have started 20 minutes ago if it was cataracts. But I was chit-chatting with my eye doctor. He's like, yeah, the cataracts run in your family. Yeah. I goes, okay. Well, at least we can deal with that now. So that's a little bit more refreshing than, yeah, you're going to go blind in the next 2 or 3 years. But still, you know, when you spend all day writing macros and stuff and just peering at a computer, it's not great for you. So I wrote a lovely macro. I spent hours. It was beautiful. 3 clicks and it translated all the information to where I wanted it. And then I realized it wasn't usable. It was not a good moment. Yeah. It manipulated the data very nicely, but the formulas weren't right, and so in the end it was just pointless, so I have to go back and start from scratch on that one tomorrow.
The one where you're like, oh, I did that wrong. I have to redo everything from scratch.
Yeah, it's one of those, okay, yeah, so here's that information, and this information, and this information, and that information, and at some point it never allowed for people who take time off. It didn't subtract for it in some of the fields, but it did in others because people are on different pay schedules. It's like, shoot.
Well, a few days ago, I had to help a friend of mine modify a table that's, you know, it's set up for a sort of inventory management for a game.
Okay.
But the table only came with room for 6 columns. For like 6 players, he needed to add a 7th.
Right.
And needed me to help him figure out how to make all the tables work. And one of his problems is the fact that it's nested functions. So
Oh, God.
This box has a formula in it.
Yes.
This box refers to 2 other boxes that have different formulas in them. And so on and so forth. And when you get all of the formulas linked together properly, it's amazingly good.
Yeah.
The catch is that you have to know how to connect everything properly.
Yeah. I wrote a beautiful, beautiful little spreadsheet, or not spreadsheet, but a lookup sheet for the engineers. So if they wanted to look up, let's say, a 1/2 inch by 3/4 inch black, what would that be? Ductile iron fitting. And those are all the terms that are in there, and all they could remember was ductile. So I had to figure out, how the heck am I going to have it search out that phrase, go look up the part, the manufacturer, the availability, what's down in stock, what it costs, and what we charge for it, and then add additional search functions. So that was actually my pride and joy. That thing is pretty. Does lots of cool functions. So I was very happy with that, but there's a lot of, nope. Shoot. Google. Oh, I can try that.
Yeah, with this one, though, is that it has some pretty complex formulas in it, too. And
Yeah.
It's one of those where if I had to make it from scratch, I'd probably have to look up a YouTube tutorial on how to make those particular formulas work. So I had to be very careful to not, break it.
Yeah. One of my favorite things is make sure you always save it. I usually will save, make a copy,
yeah.
and then work on the copy, and then save that if that functions,
Exactly.
and make a copy of that one. I do a lot of making copies. Is DT back with us yet? No, that doesn't sound like DT.
No, this is Jack.
I didn't think you were DT.
Hi, Mom.
Hi! Hello, Ver!
DT is in Discord. He's just talking to Boom right now.
Oh. Well, this is Ver. Everybody knows Ver. Ver, say hi.
Hello.
He is the Fleet Admiral Supreme.
No, I'm just the Fleet Admiral gone AWOL.
Yeah, but we still love you. Oh, do you know who was on yesterday?
Who?
Do you remember Ron?
Yes, of course.
He was on yesterday.
No way.
Yeah, absolutely. We were chatting.
Is he still in Utah?
Colorado.
Colorado. Okay.
Mhm.
He moved.
He did, yeah. I think he's been there 2 years now.
Yep, I remember Ron. Man,
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, it was
See,
amazing.
that's the best thing about this fleet, right? No matter how long of a break anybody takes, they always come back.
Well, actually, we've been chatting about that lately because Hobo Hunter's back, and we had a couple other players just come back in recently, and they're always like, "Can we come back and play?" Of course, you can come back in. This is your home.
Always.
I've been looking into a new one myself lately because the one I used to be in, while it was active for a few years, then it just died out. It's just me and a few others that pop in right now.
Yeah, we're still I don't know that we've got the full 500 at the moment, but we're probably in the high 400s.
The fleet I'm on Fed's side is semi-active. It just we never had a lot of members in the first place, and I think literally all of the founding members have quit the game by now.
Well, I know Ver isn't one of the founding members, but he's like second generation founding.
Yeah. Yep. I joined shortly after it was created.
And I joined a couple years after that. And I'm still here. Ed's finally back. Ed was gone for about 6 months.
Oh no! Hopefully not for another surgery.
No. Internet issues. So
wow.
Yeah, he and I were chatting by phone like every week, but he wasn't able to log into the game until about 4 weeks ago.
That probably killed him.
Yeah, definitely. And thank goodness he had phone and stuff, so we could sit there and chat. That became our Saturday and Sunday thing, was to chit-chat by phone, let him know what's going on. Okay, so Ver, you're back. Have you played Firewall yet?
I'm afraid to log in.
Why?
I cannot believe I'm saying that, because when I launch, so I've always played the game through Steam, right? I had Arc installed, so I get the extra things from Arc.
Sure.
But when I go to play the game from Steam, it pops up and wants me to link my account, my Arc account to Steam, and I'm afraid to do so.
What I would personally do is run the executable directly, and
I tried.
Really?
Yeah. Let me do this.
Linking the two accounts is not a bad thing. I've had.
I don't want to lose my lifetime though.
Yeah, really.
You won't.
You sure?
So I googled it before. I've learned with Cryptic, ask questions first, then do things later. So I did not just log in, and I Google. And the first thing I get is this giant page on Discord, all caps. Do not link your Arc and your Steam accounts.
Wow.
Okay, so I guess I won't do that.
What was their explanation for why?
Let's see.
That's a good question.
See, because anytime I see a giant letters warning like that, I always I check to see if the person's trolling.
Well, it's been a year, but
and I've known people that's done the linking thing, that's linked them, and they've had lifetimes and they didn't lose them. That's the strange thing.
Yeah, this is coming up from I've got one here from Cryptic or Arc Games and Steam, where they put this together so people who are playing on Steam don't have to log in twice to get to the game. So it looks like it's supported by them. Let's see if I can find anything that says not to.
Well, are you seeing?
Okay, so now I'm looking. Are you on Discord?
Yeah, and I'm streaming.
I heard a blunt
Hang on a
noise like
second.
someone was sharing.
Yeah.
Take all the time you need. I'm actually trying to fix this guy.
Okay, well, go ahead and fix that guy.
This character has not really been used much, so he's a what's the word? He's a wreck.
I do see your screen number.
Yeah, you should be able to just run Star Trek Online.exe.
I just did, and look what it wants to do.
Okay, so you installed it via Steam. So this is probably this program file Steam Steam apps blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Where do
Okay.
you bring bridge officers on Klonos? I gotta remember that.
If you're facing the Great Hall where Jim Puck and the council stay, if you're facing the door to that, to the left you'll see a small door next to a mail console. Go inside there. That's where they have like the Klonos medical officer, and also all of the stuff related to bridge officers.
I found it. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Ver, there's a message from Ambassador Kell here saying, "Hey folks, this has been happening to two people, both of whom most likely had other Arc accounts already linked to Steam. That was resolved apparently 2 years ago."
Have you installed Star Trek Online via Arc?
I probably uninstalled Arc, but let's find out.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have Arc installed. Actually, I reformatted my computer like the beginning of this year.
Okay.
So no, I don't have it installed through Arc right now.
Okay, so here's a thing. Go to Program Files and look to see if there is a folder named Star Trek Online. I don't see one. Okay, then.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
Yeah, well, when I installed it via Arc, it was installed to Program Files x86, and there's a thing under that named Star Trek Online.
Right, but I haven't installed it since I reinstalled the whole computer.
Yes, of course. So you would have to completely reload it then. See, because what I do is I don't bother with the whole Steam overlay thing. I just run
I don't bother with
the
the Steam overlay either.
But I guess that's since you installed it via Steam, it uses a separate launcher than the normal.
Yes. That's true. So I guess I gotta get Arc again.
Well, you don't even need to have Arc running. You just install the game through it, turn Arc off, and then just launch the game, and it works fine.
What the hell is it called again? Just
Arc
Cryptic?
Games.
Yeah, it's under Arc Games.
No, you actually scrolled past it. It popped up in the list. The first one, I think. Oh, this is the forum login page. Well, this actually kind of sort of takes you to the same website you need to go to the other thing anyways, and it, I think, wants you to sign in anyway. Oh, it wants you to put in a different password. But yeah, it's like after you log in, you click on the logo that says Arc, I think. It's been a while since I actually installed it on a computer.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've logged in, obviously.
That actually didn't look right, the Cryptic account sign in. Is it letting you in, Ver?
Are you sure that's the right account name?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. Because generally when I go to log in, it goes to an Arc login, not to a Cryptic login.
Oh, was that actually...
That was a Cryptic login.
Yeah, let's go back here.
Yeah, arcgames.com.
Arcgames.com. Yep, that's where I'm at now.
Okay, try logging in from there.
Oh, it came me right back to that same page.
That's interesting.
Very.
I don't know if I've got my
Okay.
Well, I guess we can figure that out later.
Yeah. Go ahead and
This
do your
is
thing.
what's popping
I'll
up for
catch
me. Okay. All right, Jack, have you had a chance to get your tune somewhat put together?
Yeah, he's good for right now.
Okay.
I just had to change up a couple of his skills and all that stuff because they haven't been touched in a while.
Yeah, I have those days.
Oh, and then it worked.
Hey!
Which is weird because I didn't change the password I was typing. I just,
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah. Hey, did you hear that the convention next year is going to be in Chicago?
No.
It's going to be in Chicago in April, and you're closer to Chicago, aren't you?
Yeah, I would hope so.
Yeah, I would hope so too.
Still a hike, but nowhere near as much.
Not that bad. Other than the fact it's in April, and God knows the weather where you are in April can suck.
I was gonna potentially drive. Usually we're at the ass end of it though.
Yeah.
Usually. I was gonna drive to Chicago recently to buy a Star Trek Next Generation pinball game.
Ooh.
And I found it closer. I actually bought it last Thursday.
Nice.
Is it fun? Or do you have it yet?
Yeah, I have it. I went and picked it up in my daughter's truck. Brought it home.
God, your daughter has a truck. Oh my
My daughter has
God.
a truck.
Oh my God. Jack, you're going to have to pick up Broken Circle on your own because I can't share it with you. But you should be able to pick it up.
Yeah, I think you probably need to do the whole like skip mission
Yeah.
mission thing to get
That's
to
what
it.
I'm doing.
Okay. And then when you get to Broken Circle, just go ahead and pick it up. And it'll let you pick up the next one after that. My God.
There we go.
Your daughter has a truck. I'm sorry, but that's just like I'm getting old.
I know. Well, how do you think I feel? I mean,
Yep.
she's
Well,
my oldest.
Well. See, you know what happens after she gets a truck? She gets
There we
things to
go.
put in the truck, and small people to help her drive the truck. You see where this is going?
Yeah, I see where this is going.
Got it.
Okay, let's go ahead and launch.
I'll be right back. Hold on. My wife's
Absolutely.
asking for something.
Say hi to her for me. Okay, everybody ready to begin Broken Circle?
Oh,
Yep,
I've
right
actually
now.
I've actually been staring at the Kiata system and wondering why the mission start point is a random piece of asteroid field when there's what appears to be a Class M planet on the other side of the system in a
Oh,
closer orbit.
picky, picky, picky.
So stellar cartography is one of those things where I'm like, this is obviously a habitable planet, but
Yeah, that was actually one of the fun things in writing the first book, going, hey, you know what? This is not a habitable planet. This doesn't work this way. But we have some license in here for having fun.
oh my goodness, look at all those ships.
Yep, yippity, yip, yip.
Wow, they actually updated it to have more ships.
Sweet.
Greetings.
Oh no, and they're slowly walking Klingon.
Yeah.
And I have to restrain my natural urge to stab them in the back.
And here we have the development area.
How much do you know about the Krenom, 7 of 9?
The Borg have extensive records on the Krenom. They were a species of great
This is the
interest to
old
the
look for her.
Yes, it is.
I'm not sure I like the idea of the Borg studying us like a bug in a petri dish.
Yeah, they
Sure, I like the idea of the
apparently
Borg
haven't
studying
updated
anyone.
And what about
her.
the Iconians?
No, going back and changing that might be
deal of resources
tedious.
Iconian technology.
Actually, if I remember right, the way the
Believe the species to be
developers
extinct.
explain their thought process here
incorrect.
is that
So much
they
for
don't
the
have a
Borg knowing
reason to
everything.
change
The
it.
Iconian
It's
technologies
fine.
are
You know,
beyond
I love her the way she is in the newer ones.
Fine, but what about
But I mean,
It's
this
just-
is an
it's
older
just-
one.
the weapon?
It's a
We
different
haven't solved
mission.
the paradox.
The same character wearing a different
This
costume.
is not my
Meh.
first
Well, it's
experience.
kind of a different character in a lot of ways, if you think about it.
It would be possible
The
to
7 of
develop
9 that we see in the more recent episodes, you know, Measure of Morality and, what one is it, One Night in Bozeman, it's like a different character. It's the same person, but it's a different character.
Oh wait, now
Well,
we
it
have to
could
go
be
to conference.
classified as time has passed for her because,
This is true.
Yeah. She has
gotta think.
changed.
yeah, you got to think it's probably been, what, a couple of years since the Iconian War in canon?
Yeah.
Mhm. You know, this is one of those like weird design things where you look down and you realize that the floor is actually a force field, and that that stuff underneath the floor is actually just a bunch of electrical conduits.
It looks like carpeting to me. Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
really
there's
cool.
There's actual carpeting, and then there's this.
Yeah, I see what you
transparent-
mean. Ah, good time for some talking, because there's not enough talking in this game. Shall we skip through this one?
Can
Yeah.
we?
To protect
Yeah, we can skip this one.
but dozens of other targets
Oh,
are
Yay.
under
Yay.
attacks.
And I'm beaming up. Let us go play pew pew. Pew 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 pew.
So do you want to know what she's done?
Yeah, I do.
She is now a full-time college student.
Oh, that's good.
She has a full-time job as an emergency dispatcher at ambulance company.
Oh.
She's also a 911 operator in a local township part-time. And she's a volunteer firefighter and has her certification for CPR and EMT in New York State.
And what's she do in her spare time?
Sleeps. That's about all she does.
Yeah.
She's not at work. She'll hang out with her friends and stuff occasionally, but I'm like constantly telling her, "You're gonna burn yourself out. You're gonna burn yourself out." But she just goes.
Oh, did you see that when I was warping out? The fleet warped out a second before I did, and then just kind of like warped back in reverse.
No, I didn't see it from my point of view. So
I did.
Okay.
Warp speed reverse.
So how's your wife doing, Ver?
Good. I think we talked. She has a part-time job now. Keeps her busy. She enjoys it working at the grocery store.
Is she still writing?
She enjoys it quite a bit. She still writes. Yep.
Excellent. I hadn't seen anything from any of her books lately, so I was curious.
She's been primarily taking care of her parents at this point.
Okay.
A lot of health issues there and stuff that she's dealing with.
I'll give her my best. Maybe she can come to Chicago. I realize Chicago's not Vegas, but it's Chicago.
She would not mind at all. So when my daughter got that truck,
yeah,
I was, obviously this year it's brand new. It's
literally
this year.
Wow.
So I was taking my father out for his birthday for dinner, and we're literally sitting around the table at the restaurant. And my daughter's like, "I have a question for you, Dad." And I'm like, "No." She's like, "You don't know what it is yet." I'm like, "Yes, I do." The first answer is no. The second answer is we'll see. And she goes, "You don't even know what it is." I'm like, "I do." She goes, "No, you don't. You can't possibly." I said, "I told Grandma and Grandpa before we even got here what it is." And she looks at me and my stepmother goes, "Don't fight about it. You guys can talk about it later." So we get home, we're having a campfire, and she goes, "So what was I going to ask?" I'm like, "Oh, your mom knows, your grandparents know, just go ahead and say it." And she says it, and it's like she wants to buy a truck. And she's like, "That's not what you were thinking." And my wife goes, "Uh-huh."
Yeah.
And she's like, "How did you know?" And I'm like, "Just the way you were talking and acting."
It's because that's how kids are. They think they're going to be really clever or sly, or they're not telegraphing their moves, but they're telegraphing their moves.
Yep. She's like, "Well, the car's always broken." I'm like, "It's always broken. You put tires on it last year and you fixed them up for this year. How is that always broken?" So, I gave you a car. Lots of people will be very happy to be given a car.
Yes.
So, she's like, "I just want the truck. I want to be higher up. I like the trucks. All my firefighter friends have trucks." And I'm like, "Okay." So she bought a brand new Ford, and it was basically 58 grand.
Whoa.
I'm like, nope, not happening. And it was more of a basic model too. I'm like, not happening. And she's like, "This is all you can get right now with the chip shortage. They only got 2 left. It'll be gone tomorrow." I'm like, "Nope." And she was so mad at me. She was so butthurt for like 3 days as I worked with the dealer. And the dealer was like, "We can't go any lower." And he tells me this one day, he goes, "We can't even buy used cars off the lot for under sticker." I'm like, "Why do I care?" And he's like, "Well, the owner decided if we can't even buy used cars under sticker, we're not going to sell new cars under sticker." And I'm like, "Then you're not going to sell a new car." So I ended up talking to the dealer and just said, "You can order it." And the guy called me back, bugging. I said, "I can just order it." He's like, "Yeah, but you can't get the deals." I'm like, "Yes, I can." And he went and checked with Ford and found out I could. So a couple days later, he calls me back. He goes, "The owner said we'll sell you the truck we have on the lot, at the price you asked for." I'm like, "Okay then." My daughter was so happy. I saved her like $13,000.
She should be very happy.
It still cost her like 41. It's more than I've ever spent in a vehicle in my life.
Yeah.
Ever. But she's, living at home, going to school. She's paying all of her bills. She doesn't pay rent. So I'm making her do $2,000 payments a month, $250 every week.
Wow.
And so everything paid off in about 3.5 years.
Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, my boss wrecked his truck in an accident. He got rear-ended by a lady going like 80 miles an hour.
Oh, well, you didn't wreck it then.
Well, okay. His truck got wrecked. He was in it. His wife was in it. And because of the shortage, it took forever to get it replaced.
But it was replaced, right?
Yeah, it's been replaced. Yeah.
Yeah. Brand new or same year?
Newer. It was still used. He couldn't, for the new ones, he couldn't get what he wanted, so he was able to figure out, excuse me, he couldn't get what he wanted out of a new model. They didn't have it. So he found a used car that gave him what he wanted, and was able to work out a deal with the insurance, but still, it takes 3 or 4 months to get things replaced. All right, what are we missing? Oh, waiting for more carriers. Okay, Marhawkman, why do we have waiting for more carriers?
It's a timed thing in the story, I think.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
Usually it doesn't last this long, but I think... Oh, here it is. There they are. Let's go.
Okay.
So my wife plays Star Trek every day.
Does she?
Multiple times a day. She's playing Star Trek right now. You can hear her in the background.
No.
Just not Star Trek Online.
Oh, okay.
Star Trek Pinball.
Oh, well, that's cool. I love pinball.
This is downloading very slowly.
Yeah.
I'll probably get in by the time you guys are done.
Are you doing a complete reload of the game?
I have to do what he suggested.
Yeah, it might be by the time we're done, maybe. DT, I think it was DT he had to do it the other day, too.
So is it still problems like it used to be?
No, this is problems, but not on their part. I haven't had to reload this since I upgraded my systems and bought a new computer, so like 3 years now. Which is not to say that there aren't problems, but but those are more... Yeah, there's a new game. We're patching it. We'll patch it again tomorrow. Oh, we're going to patch it again tomorrow.
Yep. Of course.
So that hasn't changed.
So, one of the people I play Diablo with, I haven't played Diablo in forever either.
Wow.
She texted me. She's like, do you play Star Trek Online? I'm thinking, how do I answer this question? So I was very careful with the answer. I'm like, it's a trap. I wasn't even sure what to say. So I'm like,
yes.
Yes,
Oh, your Admiral Akbar sensors were tingling.
yes,
Very much.
So I'm like, what did I say to her? I said, where am I?
I have been known to play it.
Right. I said, yes, I did. I haven't played in 6 months easily, which I think is probably true. I logged in 6 months ago.
Yeah.
That's probably about right. And she said I was reading a guide, and there was a Noibman mentioned. Fleet Admiral Noibman. And I'm like, that's me, but I haven't played in forever. I'm like, it's still a trap. And she goes, Darkmom thinks the world of you. And I'm like, she probably hates me for not being around. And I said, but hate is a strong word. She's picked up the slack for me tenfold.
So she got the book?
I don't know, maybe.
Wow. That would be amazing.
So I asked her, I'm like, so you're in the fleet right now? She goes, no. She started playing when the game first came out. She bought a lifetime membership.
Mm-hmm.
And she stepped back into it just now.
Oh, that's great.
Years. So she found your stuff. Like, whatever got her into it, she found your stuff, and now she's getting back in. I'm like,
Yay.
you gotta join the fleet.
Yep.
And she goes, she just bought a Romulan ship pack.
Ooh,
and,
nice.
What was the other question? As you think, she still didn't believe me. Where is it? Oh, Starfleet Strike Group, Klingon Strike Group. She says, are the best people in the game. Is that you? And I'm like, yeah, that's us.
That's us. Yeah.
So,
Wait.
Hey.
Awesome. We need to pick up the loot before we.
Okay.
jump in.
Pick up loot. I don't see a lot of loot. Must be your
Oh.
loot. Go ahead. Yep. Take your time.
Well, I guess we're done then.
No, take your time. It's loot.
Well,
Loot be good.
That was just it. Is that I finished picking up loot.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't see any more. This game doesn't really give you loot for killing enemies all that much, really. No, it's more scrap metal than actual loot.
Scrap metal. Okay, that's a good term.
You remember that whole that like it's too bright in here bug?
Oh
This
yeah.
might Be doing that to a lesser extent.
Speaking of, I need to do one thing really quick.
Heavy resistance and heavy casualties.
I was down on New ROM doing the ground missions, and I had to turn off the lighting because it was doing the whole radioactive glow lava feet thing.
This mission feels like it's overly lit. It's just that it had less harsh lighting in the first place, and may just be less overly lit than the other one too.
Well,
But it doesn't look right.
no, it's yeah, it's a little overlit. You're right. Compared
I
to
honestly think they were just trying to go for something high tech and cyberpunk for the
Yeah.
Iconians.
yeah, but on the one yesterday, what was that? House Peh?
Yeah, it shouldn't look blood red on the floor.
Right. House Peh, I think, had the coloring a little bit better.
And also characters shouldn't be lit from the underside. They should be lit from the top. Like the bottoms of my feet have more light on them than the top of my head.
Yeah. I think that's part of the lighting issue that we've got with the Sphere of Influence and that whole new ROM arc, too.
With the wave of might, okay, something's broken here. I just like that. It's like wave of might. Wait. Something's. What did you people do? You broke something.
By the way, stay out of the black things. They immobilize you.
Matara is retreating. She might be trying to recharge her energy.
Yeah. Push the button again, I think.
Whoa, what are you doing over there?
Herald reinforcements.
Interesting.
I swear, every time I use this Zot Bosch blaster, I'm reminded of that old black hole movie I once saw.
Yes, great weapon.
Yeah, but it looks just like that old blaster that he had in that TV show, that old movie, The Black Hole. That
All right,
years
push
back.
V to scan for the next thing to break, and it's too far away, so I guess we have to go run for it.
There is another power junction ahead.
Oh, fine. Yeah, I get us all set up for nice little defense, but no. No. I think we're over here.
You want me
Nope,
to
the other way around.
to wait a few seconds, but before pushing the button. Because I found the button.
Found the button.
Actually, you know
Did
what?
you say we set up that attack, that massive trap, and she just decided to go elsewhere?
Say that again?
All right, we're gonna kick her butt now.
Well, yeah. Okay, you don't want to place crystals before pushing the button. Alrighty.
I didn't know where she was going to pop up.
The demon is weakening. Keep disabling the power junctions.
Where is she? Yeah, I would have put him in the wrong spot, so.
She's using her own energy to power the gateways.
Well, my turrets at least can shoot her. look, it's a defiler.
What a surprise!
The area is secure, and the other interface
It used to be a
just over
defiler.
there.
Wanna go hit the other button over there? I'll go get it. Okay.
I am detecting a
For some
third
reason, my
junction.
tricorder wasn't scanning that thing. I don't know why.
Oh, you know how it goes
Or-
with teams sometimes.
Or maybe it's that I can't see the scanning beam because the environment's too red. I don't know.
Let's see.
Another
Nope,
junction
it's
just
not giving a
ahead.
really good indicator with this scan.
If we can keep forcing the creature to use her own power, we can weaken her enough to defeat her.
Okay, she's gonna appear on the bridge. There.
Yeah, probably in the middle.
Yeah,
Okay.
it usually does.
Let me set up.
Let me poke the button and
I
see
am
what happens.
detecting strong energy signatures ahead. I believe it to be some kind of command center.
Yeah, she's on the bridge.
Okay.
Scans confirm her energy readings are decreasing. This could work.
Yeah, she despawns the first time when she gets down to 2/3 health. So this time she spawns at 2/3 health.
The Harbinger! Prepare yourself!
Poor bridge officers.
Disable the other interface before we continue.
Yeah, let's do a little. Where's 5 of 6?
I have no idea where she got knocked down to.
It's 24 meters away. Over here.
she's over here.
There.
Darn it, I gotta take her back to the repair shop.
Actually, a surprisingly linear mission, despite the way it looks, because the fact that you have all these doors that don't open and there's only one way you can go forwards.
Yeah, I kind of always want to explore going around the other ways, but no. No.
This is one of this interior design styles we never got in Foundry. So, you know. Oh, hello. You know what the glowing stuff means. Yeah, see, because I walk up to this console here, says disable junction interface, and I push the V button. It gives me the little scanning circle, like.
But it doesn't give you the. Yeah, it was doing that for me too just now.
And it also made the scan failed noise. Notice that this time.
Oh, well, I guessed wrong on the location there.
We all did.
Yeah, reasonably close. I like how our NPC allies are like, yeah, we're just going to guard the rear and make sure she doesn't summon anyone to stab you in the back.
Reminds me of the line from Indiana Jones. Esps, very dangerous. You go first.
No, the look on his face was hilarious.
Heart to heart. Oh, that defiler just does not like being hit with an orbital bombardment.
Nope. Okay, I got 5 of 6 resurrected there.
This holographic floor does really weird things when you use orbital bombardment, because it puts the glow effect below the actual floor surface.
Man, she is the Timex of entities.
Just keeps going and going.
No, that's the Energizer. Energizer Bunny, thank you. I was thinking of takes a lickin' and keeps on ticking.
Oh, fine, whatever.
Uh-oh.
And well, so I'm like, wait a second, couldn't she have, like, you know, run away and borrowed energy from them or something?
You would think.
Right, time to go.
You'd think the cat would have learned something the first time, but no.
It's Lita.
Fall back! Transporter, beam us up!
Bravely ran Sir Robin.
Run away!
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You made it back. Count yourself. I hate to say it, but that.
All right. What derelict vessel do we need to go scan?
Looks like there's one to our immediate right.
Okay.
Oh, for some reason, my ship scanner thingy isn't working.
They will not be forgotten.
No, neither's mine.
Oh, it's telling me there are 0 anomalies in the area, but it's not giving me the
location. Yeah, it's not even telling me about anomalies. There, it's way down here. There it is. Okay, we scanned it and it says GTFO.
No, it says scanning.
Pods.
It's scanning the escape pods, which are on the other side of the map. Right, now we can go, I guess.
That was weird.
Yeah, it was.
Okay. Back to the conference room.
Despite the many of our warriors have.
I want to personally commend you.
And this is the point where you can turn in the mission.
Works for me.
Yep. And we want to go on to the next one?
Our losses were great today.
No, I want to try getting the Delta Lance reinforcement speaking, even though I don't actually know what it does.
I am a warrior.
It summons ships.
Yeah, that's what I figured, but...
It does. It's not bad.
Although you did manage to destroy Matara and break the unity.
Well, I looked at the other options and, like, do I think I'm going to use that? No.
No, I've got some Tetrans. Reactive armor catalyst packs. Jam subspace transmissions has never been my favorite one.
All that, it has useful effects, but it's kind of situational. And,
yeah. Okay, I picked up Butterfly, and I'll... Okay, we're all ready to go? Everybody's got the mission?
Yep, just got Butterfly.
Okie doke. Let's do it to it.
Wow, I just jumped 3 levels in that one.
That was a long one.
I ain't complaining.
Okay, this one is a meh episode in my opinion.
It does a lot of things. A lot of things. I'll put it that way.
It says woof?
That was my dog.
Oh, what kind of dog do you have?
She is a Jack Russell
I
Chihuahua
wish I was
mix.
seeing you under better
Wow.
circumstances.
In other words,
We've managed to
personality
confirm
plus.
we've tried a actually,
Oh,
exactly
she
the
is
three most-
she's a lovable little thing. She doesn't lick, but what she does is she hugs you. Because I can sit up in my chair next to her, I know she's in my lap, reaching up, hugging me. And when she wants to get your attention, she will blow in your ear.
Maybe the survivor, the number of... It's the best once we rub...
My babies are cuddle bunnies, but they both weigh about 80 pounds, so it's a lot of cuddling.
Oh yeah, this one's a cuddler. It's hard to explain.
Come on up and join us, because if one of us goes in and the door shuts behind us, not everybody gets in.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a bit.
I was
weird
wondering
with
where that was.
Yeah.
All right.
Now we
Let's
just push the
program alpha.
Oh, this actually is a map transfer.
Yeah.
So. So these are actually kind of funny, though.
Captain, you're alive. We repelled the... Sir, I'm not sure this is the time. So, the Dominion stopped firing at us when we lost weapons. Now they're both...
I have to say, the broken consoles that they came up with for this are amazing.
The whole environmental area, even the damage to the struts up here, everything is awesome.
USS Ajax.
Hello.
Hey, welcome back.
Yeah, I was helping some people with some runs, so.
We're in the process of having a board to tell us to surrender.
Yeah. Tell him you can go suck your founder.
Okay.
Oh, did someone not click the end program
I
button?
clicked end program. And it keeps popping back up. There it goes. Alrighty.
Now we go talk to the Crenum guy again.
And rinse and repeat.
Sorry, from what we could agree.
You think?
Ooh, it's Noi. Where's Noi?
He's in here.
Another one of you, none of us. The simu...
Okie doke.
Don't mind. It is a pleasure. It is a pleasure to...
Okie doke. Back we go. Let's see how this one goes.
This is an app. No, eventually.
We've always tried to be. The Malon might.
Are you here to preach about responsible waste management too? We don't need outside.
The Malon have resisted attempts to accept less hazardous waste management practices and continue dumping.
Yes, what is your question? Good luck with that. What do you want? Did the Benthans make you one of their little deputies?
Yes, but that's a different story.
And now we're done with section B.
Well, that was exciting.
Yay.
But basically, the conclusion there was that if the Iconians hadn't had the Vadwar as a puppet state, they would have used the hierarchy instead.
That was useless.
Ah.
This scenario isn't...
You must...
And now off to this person.
Hello. True. The program...
And another program.
Yeah. Oh,
This is going to get
fun
bad.
This is the
I
fun
remember
one.
this mission on Jessa.
Oh yeah, I remember this one.
Love this bridge though.
The stairs.
Ooh, this looks familiar.
Oh yeah, that's right. This one. Have to lock the door. Oh, we have to seal the doors. There we go.
No, do not push the vent Thaleron button.
You mean this one over here?
Yeah, really, because you know what's inside the dome.
Let me in. Let me
Death. Death. More death. Mega stone death.
I need to talk to you about the Tan and the Separatists. They've been located near the Dewa system. If I was, I wouldn't have needed you to lock the door. I intend to put Lieutenant... I know. I have tried to work with...
Okay, push the open door button.
Activate Thaleron weapon button. Okay. What? If you have a weapon of mass destruction, you gotta use it.
Stimpy, I told you never to push the red button.
Quite.
Oh, Sicilian's the guy up here.
Conversations between the Tamer. You are a fool.
Ooh, Tamer. What was wrong with those Romulans? Did you notice that?
They were walking like they had something up their butts.
Yeah.
I guess their Vulcanness is showing through.
It's so true.
I know. I'm an evil man. I know.
I know it is a step into the unknown, but it is a step.
Hey, just remember that.
Throw off your chains.
There are certain times when a Vulcan looks at you, and when he says "live long and prosper," he means "live long and suck it hard, Trebek."
All right.
Well, that sounded good, but we all know something bad will happen.
Oh yeah, this here looks like the perfect setup. Yeah, wait till they do it. Boy.
Yeah.
Things happen. Lots of things happen.
The readings do indicate higher levels of Borg activity, but it should be an acceptable risk.
So I notice we have a Ver in this channel.
We do have a Ver in the channel.
Promising results I've seen.
This is
Being a very quiet Ver.
Well, he was here chatting with us, and he's trying to re-upload the game so he can rejoin, but running into the joy you were having with it just taking forever.
Oh, it looks like Gamer Extreme is enjoying watching us.
Oh, good. Hi, Gamer Extreme.
Heyo, Gamer.
Hey, Gamer, I can totally sympathize with you having to redo all the Romulan stuff, because I found myself having to do the mission, then you pick up the recording, have to go back and do it a second time and drop off the recording. It's just like, twice on all of them. But they're done now.
Oh, that's an interesting animation bug. The weapon ships didn't stop firing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're not going to. They're trying to kill you before they die.
This is definitely Romulus.
Yes, I think we have a problem.
This is madness. Madness?
No.
Yes!
This is mission
Romulus!
This is the mission where we get to kill Hakeem again.
Ooh.
Hakeem the Borg.
Yeah, really.
According to these scans, the planet has been completely
Resistance
I'm not detecting any
is
non-Borg life sign. Borg ships
Does
cloaking.
everyone steal
Electrical.
cloaking technology from us?
That's an odd statement, given that Romulans didn't even invent cloaking in the first place.
We are Romulans. Of course, we invented everything.
Actually...
Hush. Do not quibble with me.
No, I was going to agree with you. Actually, the first cloaking we've seen in Star Trek was from Romulans.
Yes, it was. Man, these cubes go down too easy.
And even on the Enterprise, it looks like there was a parallel development on cloaking, so therefore Romulans invented cloaking first. Deal with it.
Suck it. Romulans rule.
Or have groups of angry Romulan players after you for eternity.
I like Romulus. You should know that. I love Romulans. I am.
No, You're like new Romulus. Old Romulus is a bunch of rubble with
Well,
a
it is
big
now, yeah.
holographic sign going. Look at this. We had a star blow up and we put a marker here.
Actually, one of the old missions, you did actually walk around on part of old Romulus.
I know.
I know. No, a chunk of it.
Yeah. Like
Which
I said, a
technically,
part
when
of
you
it.
think about it, would not work no matter how you looked at it.
Well, I guess you could say that the habitat dome included artificial gravity.
And heat and a ton of life support.
I'm going to
Details.
Minor
Minor details.
It's a habitat dome you can see from space.
All our people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With a bunch of mining equipment for a planet that's already broken apart.
Makes it easier.
Yeah.
Think about it.
I have to say, this style of force field is something I don't remember seeing other places in the game.
I can't believe we were so wrong.
This is what happens when you mess with time.
If it was a force field, you couldn't beam through it, so it had to be just a dome. To make it even more fun, let's put a dome on a chunk of a planet to hide a base.
Cover me.
Well, nothing.
Door controls.
Nothing too subtle.
In case you're wondering, yes, I did actually set up Chesh as a melee build.
Oops.
Makes her extra fun to bring in missions with Borg.
Oopsie. There it is.
Got it. We have to find a way to make this right.
Resistance is futile.
Oh, I love the Moth Blades.
There. That's the access.
This is what you go around and yell at Klingons. Ushan!
Oh boy, this is one of those maps where I really wish we got to see it in more missions than just this.
Yeah.
Locked. We'll have to circumvent
But the whole story behind this map, you're never going to be able to do that.
Yeah, but it's such a beautiful map.
Also, the idea of seeing a non-Borg version of this map is just...
Wouldn't be the same. You'd have all the... I mean, they would have to completely redo it, and if you're completely redoing it to that level, then
when we lost the homeworld.
It's
I mean, yes, it is kind of sort of like building a new map entirely, I guess. Yeah.
It will be, because if you get rid of all the Borg stuff in here,
completely assimilated.
you have a series of rather unremarkable hallways with no real features going into a big room.
You will become one.
I suppose that's a valid way of looking at it.
Is futile.
Which may or may not have an arch going around. I mean, you have Borg technology down below there. You have Borg technology all around you. It's just... Oh wow, yeah. we have a new join thing, don't we?
We do?
Rob 934 just subscribed.
Woot. Hey Rob, thank you so much.
Thank you for that subscription, Rob.
We appreciate that.
It looks.
Let's get out of here.
More Borg on the way.
Yay, let's go kill Borgies.
Actually, what we're supposed to do is exit the system at maximum warp.
It says fight off Borg ship.
Oh.
Lots of Borg ships. I need bigger guns.
Fine. How about nuclear warheads?
I like how you think.
Photon torpedo has more power than nuclear warhead. I'll take photons.
Well, my ship is equipped with nuclear weapons.
They're more.
Mm-hmm.
We're losing power. Data is compressed and communications array is
I
secure
even
channel.
value the photons.
Data received.
Visually speaking, you can see photon explosions on a planet from orbit.
The Borg may never be able to reach London.
It is a
And
great
photons are a dialing field.
Borg
Not only
have a
that,
great deal
it's
of
an
influence
antimatter
on
blast.
and there is no time to run the simulation.
Then we gain to quantums with 0-point energy, and
Quantum torpedoes.
yeah, who knows how big a boom that'll be.
Targeting the transwarp network.
But the truth would be then, I got a fever. I need a cure. It's a bigger boom.
The Borg are gone. So is Romulus.
Hope they'll be close enough tomorrow.
3,
Romulus isn't the only
1.
thing we lost. Temporal shielding is failing.
Everything's about to go wrong.
The Borg did too much damage to the generators. If we lose the temporal shielding, we'll all reintegrate with the timeline.
Has anything else changed?
Checking.
Despite everything going
But
wrong,
Terrarians,
and I'm just looking at the cutscene you guys
wrong.
just went through.
I see
There's a
the
little sadness about
20
that.
years ago, your people tried
Yeah.
to replicate the work of the Solanae to protect themselves from the Borg. They failed.
But this is the first time we completely. This is the first point we completely jack up the timeline.
I'm downloading my personal files.
I like the image in the back. Relatively straight lines and then.
You'll have all my research notes.
Yeah, really.
Everything we've recorded from this mission.
Yeah, because this was pretty sad, and
giving
we
up.
actually make the
When the
spear
shield
build. That's the
fails,
sad part.
if the Tutarians were lost in the past, then you'll be lost too.
My only
And
reaction to
since
that was
the-
like,
Is there
well,
anything
we
we
did
can
it this
do?
time.
No,
And
all knew the risks.
And since we don't really see Seven, this kind of explains why in the Delta missions she's definitely her Borg self, and then any other point we see her, she's her Picard self.
This is kind of that old transition there. Becoming non-Voyager and becoming Picardian.
Yeah. It's really, I mean, it's just how it works out. With Noyev his evil beard now, which means you have to kill him. He's gone from evil. He's gone from evil. So he's gone from evil. Really bad goatee.
We found a temporally shielded computer core, and it shows 2 uses of the Chrono weapon.
You can
We
you can
haven't
go
dug
kill
that
Noy.
very.
Easy.
We will eventually.
Yeah.
I was conducting
You
another
can just go do the one
simulation.
mission.
All of a sudden, I got an emergency.
And choose to kill him.
Ooh, evil Noy.
Put so much hope into using the Krenim technology.
Noy deserves a beatdown.
But here's it. But I wonder how much do we mess him up to go turn him into what's his the temporal dude.
Temporal dude.
I don't remember his name right now.
Noy? Daniel?
No,
his alias.
Oh, right, that guy. Forget what his name is.
Oh my gosh, do I want this whole set?
It's not a. The engines have a nice visual.
Yeah, but I want this Tetrion Omni.
It's a good. It is a good set.
Yeah, you just have to play this 6 times to get it.
3 times.
Well, there's 6 different toys there.
Yeah, but some of the toys aren't that set. There's like 2 different sets or something, maybe.
Well, what I really wanted was that Omni for my, the Omni for my Tetrion build. All right, I have to drop Midnight and reacquire it because I use it at a certain spot here.
Oh, good. Yeah, I found a Livanian beat. Those things used to go for thousands on the exchange.
Yeah, now they drop relatively often.
No, the reason was because of the fact that a long time ago they added a duty officer mission where you needed to cook Livanian beets to make soup or something. The thing with Livanian beets is that I think you need a purple quality chef to replicate them or something.
Mm.
And the only other way to get them is random drops.
Yeah. Let's see. What have I been running a lot that I've been picking them up?
Oh, it's fully random whether you get one at all.
Well, I don't tend to get as much of the unusual food drops on like Nimbus. And not on New ROM, so it's some of the more unusual. It tends to be in mission rather than a ground scenario.
It may be that certain maps have just a generally lower item drop rate than others.
Mm-hmm. I think so. Are we ready to go on and finish this up?
Officially?
Yes.
Officially,
you guys
his
going
name
ahead. I need to get something to eat. My stomach's starting to snarl at me here.
Do you want us to wait a little bit?
No name
now you guys
they
go
call
ahead,
him Future
okay?
Guy
Okay.
or the sponsor.
I'm sorry, say that again, DT?
Humanoid figure, aka Future Guy.
Future Guy, right. Future Guy, right.
Oh yeah, the guy in the shadow. Yeah, that's Noi.
Yeah, I know it's Noi in the game, and yeah.
All right, be right back.
And we know from the missions he's a really scarred up mess. I just wonder, did we do that to him? I hope we did that to him. It would make me feel good if we did that to him.
And the TV show, it's actually one of those things where even in the behind-the-scenes show notes, they never said who he was.
Well, the reason for that...
Later interview...
for that. They had plans They had plans to do a crossover with another show that would reveal who that guy was.
Hmm. I mean, one thing I heard is that they were at one point thinking of making it Archer.
Yeah, that's what I had heard.
Actually committed to that, or so I heard.
Actually, there was before that it was rumored to be a Romulan, and then Braga later on said it was going to be Archer trying to correct stuff that got screwed up, and that the Romulan point was a red herring. So, but officially there was no information about who it was supposed to be. Just stuff people say well after the fact.
All right, so it's up to you and me, Mar Hawkman, unless you want to join us, DT, for midnight.
No.
Okay.
I went through midnight once, so...
Oh,
no.
Yeah, we did midnight not that long ago. You're up for this one, Mar Hawkman?
Sure.
Last one?
I mean, it's the...
Technically, my Klingon already did.
Fine, I guess.
Technically, my Klingon already did the whole Iconian War.
Yep. Oh, this will finish it up for this one. But if you don't want to, let me know. Otherwise, we can just run it for speed.
Well, because it's one of those things where it's like, well, I have other things I'm going to be doing later, but not yet.
Okay. Like I said, I got a hard stop tonight at about, well, not a hard stop, but a pretty solid stop around 9:30, just so I can get everything packed up here and ready to go back home tomorrow.
And
so
it's not
minutes.
even yeah, so 15-20 minutes.
Yeah.
You are cleared for docking.
Now go run and talk to everyone again.
Yep.
I mean, I really do. I mean, it's going to take all your time to do that because of all the wait for Sela and
yep.
Kargan to stop arguing. And there are times I have characters in the game who, when they go through this, it's like, go get a room, you two, while we actually do the work.
Yeah, really.
If you can bypass all the jibber jabber, it goes pretty quick.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you can't half the time.
That was weird. When I beamed up, it looked like I was like halfway stuck inside a chair.
Yeah. Well, you could be. Think about it.
You're technically energy, so if you're beaming up while you're walking forward, wouldn't you be dematerializing around something you're walking through?
Oh my goodness, they really did make a good visual to make it look like a huge armada.
I know.
A lot of good stuff in the sky painting. for that. The sky down for the map. I guess one of the problems I sort of have about this, we're seeing ESD being busted up again. Seems like it just happened.
Well, it did yesterday when we ran this.
No, would be the end of the Spirit mission where that happened.
Oh yeah, he's talking about when the Undine did the same thing.
Oh yeah.
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 Well, I just kind of have this point of going, I just want to go yell and go, hey, we just fixed that!
This is why we can't have nice things.
Good, they keep blowing up.
Oh, I love the damage to my ship. That's beautiful. Look at that. It's all purpley and blue.
Well, looking at ESD, they actually did a pretty nice job of like cutting off part of it and being like, explosion happened here.
That's really nice.
You would think we would stop rebuilding in the same freaking look all the time.
Well, I mean, the original ESD and Star Trek Online didn't look like this.
Oh, I know.
Nope, you changed it. You changed it after in the first anniversary. Or the other thing, you think somebody put some weapons on the thing.
This is a good point, actually. So, I mean, like, real-world military bases are, you know, they have military people there. Although, with this particular case, it could be that they're basically counting on the fleet in the Sol system for protection.
The shipyards are losing integrity.
Well, clearly, that hasn't been working for a long time. The Breen, the Undine, the Iconians.
Yeah?
This is ESD control. We're losing life support and transporters are offline.
Earth's space dock has lost main power. We're evacuating.
I mean, I half expect some giant-looking character to be sitting with me just banging on the wall. Quit blowing holes in my station!
I have to say that the Kentari mass-produced missile launcher is actually pretty fun.
Oh yeah,
because of the fact that it's basically treated as a wide-angle torpedo.
Hi there. All non-essential personnel are away.
I have a ridiculous question for our listeners. Just an opinion here.
Yes?
What? I'm thinking about building a very anime-inspired ship.
An anime-inspired ship?
Yeah.
The glass cannon?
No.
No.
I'm more thinking like I'm thinking about using the Rycia event cruiser from the event to do some like a Yamato type ship.
Okay.
What would you use for the big cannon demo?
Honestly, there is actually something in the game that really does kind of sort of look like that.
There are two or three weapons that kind of give that point, and then you have
the hyper-excited ion projector actually is a pretty close match.
No, the hyper-excited ion projector is lightning. We're talking about a big death beam, which would probably be either the graviton beam from the Omega set, or it would be the quantum phase beam would be the best candidate.
Ooh, that's a thought.
I guess those work quite well too. Yeah, and I guess well better, but yeah.
What you looking for?
Well, for any Yamato fan, I'm just trying to figure out what would be the best point to use for a wave motion gun.
immolated phaser lands. Leave me those.
Which would probably, that'd be a rapid fire version, and technically I could do it all on my main character.
We must protect it until the portal is stable.
Well, y'all think about it. There are other. There is one person.
Yeah.
Last movie, fired 5 shots from the waveless.
6 actually. Actually, it's 6. Much like the immolating phase lens, it's 6 shots. I've seen it.
Yeah, it was last week.
Right.
The Iconian old school
What is that? So I have to do some Jason since I have the immolating.
I love the live action. Not stamps.
No, it was good. It was a good, nice alternate universe take. I just finished watching the 2199 and 2202 movie series, I should say.
Oh, I got
And where and if I can find a place where I can go download them and watch them again at my leisure, I would. I'm not gonna lie.
Yada, that's hot.
Just can't get a link later.
You got a pen and paper?
Actually, hell, we're both on Discord. I will just pin you there and you pin me back. Easy way. And there we go. That's the easiest way to do it.
It's more inside.
Ah.
Yeah.
Back when I downloaded it,
Energizing.
And we'll have to set certain things up later. We'll deal with some friends too.
Time portal is open and stable, despite the fact that there's like this giant cloud of debris surrounding it.
Details. Details.
Hey. Hey. Nobody has an issue. Nobody's saying anything about sending wreckage back through time.
Destabilizing. Hurry.
More gateways. An Iconian flagship is moving in.
This is the moment of your extinction.
Not today.
Sounds like the cat.
Everyone, form up and cover our 6.
Yep, they have all of the Yamatos included in the 2 movies.
Theirs not to make reply. Theirs not to reason
The
why.
charge of the Light Brigade.
Yeah.
But to do and die.
Not the
Into
first time
the
they
Valley
used
of
Light
Death.
Brigade.
He actually quoted it right too.
Yeah. It's just the voice is a little thin for that. Much as I like him, he's one of my faves in the show. In the game, that is.
But yeah, if you're going to be doing something like the Yamato, I would say something like the Immolated Phaser Lands. There's also the one that was on the Intel escort from the Delta
There are no
attack.
signs of Captain Cogran or
Yeah.
his ship. We will have to continue.
But
the
that
mission without
one's actually stuck on that ship.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately.
It's not a console.
It's not a console. Yeah. Which
There's
brings us. Yeah, it's the immolating phaser lance, maybe the mining drill laser.
There's
We've
also,
seen
I'm
the
trying to
ruins
think, there's
of a
another
once
ship
mighty empire.
set
This is Iconia
that
at
could
the
work.
height of its power.
The Radiant set from the Radiant anti-proton set from the
I apologize.
Iconian rep.
Wonderful. Since you are exploring.
Greetings, travelers.
The changes we see in the Iconians are too great to be simple evolution. The Iconians shape themselves and the heralds.
I
into
probably would be the
heroes.
one to do the
Genetic
immolating phaser
engineering
lance, the Kentari missile launchers.
You made it. The Iconian.
Probably
Coogan is
because,
either-
probably because it would be it would completely break somebody's immersion. Probably then on top of that, a whole bunch of turrets.
Also toss in the Vengeance's broadside emitter console.
Yeah, I can get that.
And I would recommend using the Crenum warship.
Do you require? Certainly.
I mean, not the Crenum,
We'll see who the lesser race.
the zombie
Clearly
race.
the Iconians have a highly developed sense of
The
respect. I have spent days among these people. They are very proud.
God, I can't even
very
remember their
strong.
name.
When you have
Yeah,
technology as advanced
I keep
as
calling
the
him Space
Iconians,
Zombie, but I have
wonders
one
can be
here.
found anywhere you look. We should talk
The
to that
Kobali.
officer over there.
Must wait
The
for
Kobali
Codrin to shut
ship.
up.
Yeah.
The Kobali ship
The
looks
Iconian-
just like something right out of.
Actually, what I'm thinking of is actually using the Rycian cruiser
You know, those
from
two
the last summer
definitely
event.
look like- It's just that the Kobali ship thematically looks a lot more like something straight out of Matsumoto's book. You know, something he would have probably designed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're both good.
There's actually a torrent up here on Nya that actually has $21.99, 2202 plus the movie Blu-ray 1080 pixel.
Yep. I may have to do this. Oh wait, I do have to do this. It is important.
There you go. Send you a link to it.
All right. Even better.
Do you need to talk to them as well?
I'm doing this stupid console puzzle right now.
Oh.
Have to hack an Iconian computer console to learn information about the Dynasians and the Akobar.
It is just as I surmised.
Not so fast.
Okay, that's done. Okay.
So listen to that one.
Talk to this person over here.
The medicine.
I am. Yes. I will take.
We haven't made.
Oh, right.
If I were the Iconians, I too would think twice.
This doesn't prove anything. So the.
Let's see, where are we going? Back?
Yeah, up to where they had the injured person.
Mm-hmm.
Tell your ships. Tell your ships.
Now we talk to the person over here.
I'll be right back again.
Okay.
Excuse me. Dogs wanting to either play or go outside, one or the other.
And now we have to do yet another frequency puzzle.
Curious.
We already know the evacuation.
I talked to Lemarin.
But the gateway on New Romulus
see over here
remained
now?
active for a time.
Then we must cut off that path now before anyone escapes.
Oh wait, no. Oh, we had to wait for
Her to stop talking.
And now the planet explodes.
The attack is
beginning.
It doesn't matter, and that changed. I'm glad you.
Okay.
The world heart contains all of our knowledge and all
Wonder,
our
I gotta try something here. Oh, it won't let you jump off the edge. Gosh darn it.
Trust me, I tried that already. Although if you look down, you can see the clouds on the planet's atmosphere
Yeah.
from the top.
That's why I wanted to see what happens if I jumped. When you do the jump in Sphere of Influence, it's kind of that.
Oh, see, because this is what I was talking about. It's like this is the sort of thing I would expect
Yeah.
for an Iconian interior.
And isn't this what we see in this and in Quark's Lucky 7? It's much more defined.
It's not exactly the same lighting color. I think they made
Yeah, it's a different.
changes to
It
this
is definitely
one.
a different lighting color, but
We need to transfer the world heart to a transportable format.
Just to steal the orb with data in it. Got it.
Initiate the
Okay.
download from that console. The download is proceeding.
Oh, this is an annoying one because it does the whole interact animation and the long interaction timer. And then after that's done, it tells you that you have to wait for Lemurian to stop talking. Oh, and now we have to go kill people. Yeah. Oh, right. I'm supposed to be doing anti-proton damage to things.
Oh, we'll definitely switch weapons. I think the second set comes in over here. I did this often enough I remembered where they were coming in, but now I haven't done it for a while.
You remember that there's like it's a linear hallway that they move through for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Magnetic interlocks holding the core.
Oh right, we have to push the button to remove the thing. After the Lemurian stops talking. See, this time the scanning beam actually points to it, though. I did notice something, is that the floor seems to change color. Maybe it's just this area, I don't know.
They must not take the world heart. We need to erase the mainframe memory banks. I will require your assistance. More aliens are coming. Protect me.
Don't we come back to this world in a different episode?
Yes.
Is a measure of morality?
Yeah.
Okay.
The measure morality is where we really...
It's a fairly intense fight.
Yeah.
Okay. Thought I remember doing this recently. It's world knowledge. Or it's basketball.
I fear that
It's like a USB device, except round.
and has kept our people safe for countless millennia. Until
Is it just me, or is this map getting darker?
It is. It's definitely getting darker.
Perhaps it is. When we came back in time, we did not know what we would find.
Okay, can't go out through this door even though it's glowing green.
I appreciate honor.
We have to talk to Ket first.
I appreciate your...
She is a fool. She would let her people die so she could avenge them.
If you don't let them die, then you don't have to worry about avenging them.
So this is from September. Did you already help King Switz get access to provision stores?
What? Probably.
Probably.
I
feel so sad that I'm not here. I wasn't here in September to answer it.
Okay, so that goes back a ways, yes.
Armor jackasses.
The good thing is it's 2021 though.
Oh, good. Well, that's not that bad then.
Oh, nice. I never realized you could do this before.
What?
I'm shooting across the gap between the two platforms.
Wow, this is weird. Let me see. Am I stuck there? I'm stuck there. Okay.
Oh, I missed right.
So some of these guys use fuse armor on you, so it'll immobilize you and do damage over time.
Yeah, but sabotage works on them, so if you've got it. Are you just catching up in your mail from the last 6 months, Ver?
Yes.
How bad is it, and how much spam is there?
Believe it or not, so far not a single spam.
I'm impressed.
You know, I haven't had spam in a long time.
They usually save the spam for like anniversary events or stuff like that, I've noticed.
True, or key sales, but
I haven't even had a key sale in a long time.
Not yet. That will change.
Bloodshed affects everyone differently.
Okay, so all those guys are dead, so now I have to talk to everyone again.
Okay.
And the Iconians will become conquerors.
And remind people that they don't have to be hiding.
Talkie.
Yep.
Yep.
So are you back
Yeah.
for a while, Ver, or are you going to disappear on us again?
I won't make any promises. But
Okay.
things have changed things have changed in a good way, sort
I'm
of.
glad to hear that.
Outside of my wife's family being sick.
That sucks.
Well, one interesting thing about this mission is that while we're beamed down, multiple aspects of the map change dramatically.
Yeah.
But like with certain parts of the thing are just like blown to bits.
Yeah.
now.
I love the detail on this one.
Yeah, I mean, despite the hate the Iconian Arc.
Right, now I have to res your bridge officers.
Hang on.
Yeah, despite the hate the Iconian Arc, it actually did put out some of the best graphical, showed some of the best graphical assets I've seen in the game.
Yeah. The detail's lovely.
And it has some really cool mission rewards. Like this mission, what's the actual main reward to it?
Where are they?
I don't remember.
That would be the Soul Defense set.
Oh, is that?
This mission that we're currently playing right now, what is the best aspect of the reward for it to me is the fact that you get to dress like an Iconian.
Yes, you do, don't you? I've never even paid attention to that.
Yeah, you get the Iconian outfit and all
Wow.
that. I forgot about that.
Well, maybe I'll get some new clothes for this tune then.
Also, it's a very mix and match outfit. It's not one of those things where it's locked to its own outfit category.
Ooh.
So you can take the special Iconian belt and stick it onto a regular uniform.
I know what you're. That can't. Taket.
Yeah, I forgot about all that. I completely forgot all about all that.
I think the only thing you don't get is those weird back attachments that the Iconians use.
That would be cool.
Back to the exact moment we left the present time.
Agonized subatomic disintegrator.
Ooh.
Where did that come from?
Yeah, I have one of those.
The heralds are firing on the portal.
I'm trying to figure out what ship it comes off of. It's in my
Mirren.
Hurry!
What?
Shut up and go away.
Hey! Oh.
I was talking to Lemirin. Oh.
Heavy physical DOT. 360 good.
Captain Cochran to Alliance Fleet.
Alright, it's an experimental
Stand down.
weapon.
Mhm.
I repeat.
Must be off one of the
Stand
ships
down.
I got.
No,
Oh, yeah,
it's,
yeah.
It's a reward from something, I think, because I just got it the other day, too.
Really?
Yeah.
Aw.
But I don't know what it's from. It just was magically there one day.
Fun fact, if you get one of the Iconian ships, you actually get to use this bridge.
That's right. One of my friends has got this, and we hung out on this bridge. It was so cool.
Yeah, my Federation tactical officer has the that Iconian ship, one of the Iconian ships.
I have a Vomp on one of my characters, and thus I get to have fun with this bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, the Iconian ships are actually pretty darn cool.
Mm-hmm. It's one of those things where you're on your bridge and you look at the crack in the floor and you're like, huh, how far down does this go?
Look at it this
Well, that's
way,
cool.
if
Oh
anybody
yeah,
decides
that
to-
reminds me. that's another thing that I would love is that there's the special like Iconian transporter effect. That we don't get to.
That would be cool. There's a couple of transporter effects. The I think it's the Zenkethi transporter on the ship.
Believe it or not, the devs actually created a special transporter beaming effect for the Kobali.
Really?
We have much.
Yeah, I think Dust to Dust is literally the only mission you get to see it in.
Well, it seems like you missed something for that one.
We have a lot.
You only get for one mission. Did we get everybody there? Nope, not
I
thought this was it.
Well, it told me the mission was over as soon as I talked to Sela. I guess everyone else is
It's superfluous. And beaming back to my ship.
Yeah. See, Iconian vest outfit is in your mission rewards.
Well,
The Soul Defense set is, I mean, it's not bad. It's just one of those things. Just like, I think I'd rather have the space trade.
The war is over.
All right, so. Oh, yeah, I think I actually ran this 5 times because I wanted the full set.
We have ended the conflict honorably.
Is it a set worth getting, to be honest?
And that is not always an easy
Not really. I mean, it can be. It's semi-okay for tank builds.
Before that day
because it does give you that auto heal thing, but it's got a long cooldown, so I really wouldn't recommend it myself.
Okay.
Oh wow.
I'll take
We've detected an anomaly.
I got 700,000 energy credits for my very rare personal endeavor reward.
Ooh, that's nice. I have boxes and boxes of rewards that I've never opened. I'm giving them to my Toon as soon as he hits 65, but I've been so busy getting this one through all the stuff that one hasn't gotten to 65 yet. So that'll be one of our projects maybe for next week, is doing some speed leveling, getting some Toons up to speed.
Yeah, I'm down for it. I got at least 3 Toons that need to get some speed leveling done.
Well, I will be on a little bit later on Monday. Probably not that much later, like 8 o'clock instead of 7. Tuesday will be normal. Wednesday I'm off to class. Thursday will be normal. And then the week after that, as I was saying earlier, will be the week of Thanksgiving. So I think we'll probably only be on Monday and Tuesday because I'll be heading back to Chicago so I can start cooking.
Alrighty. Well, I guess I'll talk to you guys later.
Oh, okay. Well, have a great evening. Thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. See you later.
Take care. Bye-bye. DT, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. Well, I got about 10 minutes before I log off for the evening. Is there anything that you'd like to run in the next 10 minutes? Shoot the breeze, visit, level a ship.
Yeah. Shoot the breeze, visit, level a ship. Yeah, we can do all 3.
Okay. Jack, do you want to?
Since I've never actually flown this thing and it's basic equipment over here,
we could have some fun.
I'm going to fly the Rycian luxury cruiser.
Jack, do you have your ship you want to work on leveling, or a Toon you want to work on leveling? We could.
Give me a second. I got my Fetty. Because there is one ship I was working on. A while back, I got the anniversary set, so I'm trying to go through all those ships.
Yeah. Silver Sky, thank you very much for the follow. We really appreciate it. We appreciate everybody who gives us a follow, or wonderful folks like Rob934 who gave us a subscription. You guys are awesome. I'm just curious. I haven't checked our numbers in a long time, so... We have 573 followers, folks. That's almost 600. I wonder if we can hit 600 before the night's out. Maybe before the year's out. We should set a goal of hitting 600 followers by the end of the year, DT.
Yeah.
But we also have to do a party. Yes. We need to have a party here.
Ah, yes. USS Kit Bash from Hell. I got the Reliant, the T6 version, both of them.
Oh, okay.
And I just decided to get a little crazy with the Kit Bash.
Nothing wrong with a good Kit Bash.
Well, I got the Fleet version, so I had access to the Soyuz, Ben Cisco ship from the pilot episode. I took the body of it, took the struts of the Wachowski, and the nacelles of the Chimera. You'll see it soon enough.
It's not too bad sounding. Need
Well,
those.
consider the fact it's a beam overload build.
Mm-hmm.
And the Soyuz, if you remember the design of it, I mean, not the Soyuz, the Saratoga, it had a lot of. You'll see it. All right.
Let me get some officers set up on this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Not especially worried too much about this. I'm just throwing it together for some fun.
Yep.
It's party time.
I'm going to throw some stuff in the bank and then run up to the shipyard real quick. Think I was working on leveling a different ship, and I can switch back to that one.
Oh yeah, I got plenty of ships I got to level up.
Yeah. Yeah, so maybe next week while DT's working in that first hour or so before he gets back, we can do some builds and leveling and have some fun.
Yeah, because I just want to get some of the traits off the anniversary ships, because I could definitely use some of them for my main ships. I want to put the money down to get the T6 Nova.
I like that one. Right. Poor people still stuck in the ground.
Usually how it goes.
I just feel bad for them. That, you know, they're permanently stuck in the ground. They're being ever so cheerful.
I'll actually be shocked if they actually fix all that. Never happened.
As we've discussed, it's a major fix for a little problem. Just have to write your own headcanon to make it work.
Considering the fact that it usually happens with my TOS Constitution bridge, easy fix. Kirk did it. Ah.
There we go. There's my Tetran baby.
The LeraKuro Hokun. That's a good ship.
Mm-hmm. It is. Okay, so what was I working on this?
I should bring out my Oberth again, just for the giggles.
Oh, none of these need to get leveled. Okay. Let's go grab something else. Have to remember to turn off my heat before I go away this week. Maybe I shouldn't turn off my heat. It's supposed to possibly snow this weekend. Maybe not down here, but let's see what Mr. Weather Predictor says. Wow.
Sounds like it'll be cold.
Tim, we got a cold front coming down here through the south right now.
Where are you, roughly?
Alabama.
Oh, how cold is cold down there?
Depends. We have had it into the low teens.
Okay.
But usually it stays around in the 30s and 40s sometimes.
Okay. Yeah, it's supposed to be 36 here tonight. Excuse me.
It's going to be dropping down to about that tonight and tomorrow night.
Wow. I lied. Here in Indianapolis, it's going to be in the upper 40s. In Chicago, it's going to be in the lower 40s, high 30s. So, yeah, there's a chance of dealing with snow this weekend back home. But little to no accumulation on Saturday night. So... Oh, goody. Rain mixed with snow tomorrow for the drive home. Let me just beat my head into the ground for that drive. Ugh.
Oh god. Oh god.
Isn't that going to be fun?
The slushies.
Ugh. It means idiot drivers. Let's be honest. It just means idiots on the road. That's nice looking. Oh.
Isn't that normal?
Yeah, it really is.
It's like any type of rain or anything, and these people just turn off their brains and just decide to go crazy.
Going home to Chicago, they all turn crazy.
Brain, what is brain?
Exactly. Alrighty, you guys got your ships?
Lock and loaded.
Almost done. I am just
Okay.
moving a couple of consoles in place right now.
This one isn't gorgeous, but
Blossom of Annihilation.
yeah.
Nice name.
Well, it's kind of a joke from something my son once called one of my builds, which was the Death Blossom.
The Last Starfighter.
And I'm having that same issue with trying to reload seats on the stations. Boy, that's annoying.
You gotta it's called putting an officer in some point and changing a few things around. It's still annoying.
Yeah, let's make sure he's fully promoted. He is. I thought he was.
Alright, for what we're gonna do, this will be good enough.
Okay, let me just see if I can switch him out again.
Form a private room team. Hit a couple of patrols up.
Okay.
Form a team and we'll be ready to go.
Okay. Oops, sorry. Wrong thing there. There we go.
Don't have the colors done on this yet, but that'll come soon enough.
Alright, what shall we run?
The
typical 3?
Yeah, typical 3.
Okay, 9th rule. Hold on, let me set it up. We're on Elite?
Yeah.
Okay.
9th rule we want to start with? That's fine. Yep. We shall go to 9th rule.
And launching.
At least I'll get a look at this thing doing this.
Looks like there was a fight here recently. I'm not picking up any House Mokai ships on the sensors.
Did you launch DT?
If they're here,
oh, there you are. Okay.
I'm having slow load-ins tonight.
Okay.
Is ready to assist you.
Not much I can do about it.
Ooh, that does look nice. That's the Rizian ship?
Yep.
Sweet.
Does have that kind of look to it, doesn't it? As I'm not moving at all at the moment, but...
Did you put engines on your ship?
Yeah. No, it's frame by frame at the moment.
Oh, okay. I had switched out a ship because Ed and I were going to start playing with it, and I forgot to put engines on it. It's just like, son of a gun. This is stupid.
Oh, one of the sister shared an account.
Uh-huh.
Well, she went up to something and went on to his account and sold the engines off his ship. So when he logged in, he forms up with us to do a TFO. Yeah, he has a little problem. He can't go anywhere.
Got to turn down the game volume. I'm barely able to hear you guys over there. The pew-pew sounds.
And there's a lot of pew-pew going on.
Oh, this just look at all those cannon shots. It's just... It's got the look for this, doesn't it?
It does.
Blast.
I'm beginning to really love cannons over beams.
Well, I'm using turrets just so I can get that, so no matter where I turn. Then I have the dual beams on here, but that's... Oops, I died. With all the lag, I'm gotta be ready for that.
build my old Armada. But I don't want to get anywhere ceasing desist from Cryptic for wrecking their servers.
Well,
There's bad news and there's good news.
we've got. Did the captain sound cheerful there? I heard some cheer.
Oh, this is gonna be rough.
Oh yeah, you're a little squishy there, aren't you?
I'll be taken care of at some point. It's just.
This is started. You just started making, so you're gonna have a lot of issues there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's rare that first time out of the box it's exactly what you want.
Yeah. This thing built how I want it yet, so.
Because honestly, usually I'm the one who's dying in all of these.
Well, I think we're all playing with ships that are ones we just started playing with. I just got this one put together last night, so.
I threw this one together a couple of days ago, so it really hasn't been used heavily.
Spiderwave Wasp with a helmet.
Yeah, this definitely needs some work on the build if I'm going to keep it.
Well, this, like I said, by the time it gets done, it'll be just.
I know where the Bajoran Orb of Acquisition is, partner.
Mirror Gagarin is a good ship.
It is. I'm really happy with it. But what's interesting is the build that I'm using on this is the same one that I was using on the regular Gagarin yesterday.
Oh, great. The Klingon Death Metal Brigade.
Gesundheit.
That was a little bit of a cough.
Gesundheit still works. Bright light.
There's definitely a lot of flavors in here for it.
Just gotta work on the survivability or mimicking the battle.
I'll be there. I got. And part of it is some points this is going frame by frame while I do stuff. I'm getting a lot of rubber banding, which never did.
Not my fault. I didn't do it honest.
No, been having it all night. It's just
Whoa.
Once things kind of get.
Modron's on his way to a Federation holding facility.
That may have done.
That was a one and done.
Yeah. Let's see if that got me up to 6.
I don't know where I am. I'm stuck at 41% loading back into DS9.
Okay,
Oops,
yeah,
there we
that
go.
got me where I needed to be on that ship.
Woohoo!
Yay! Definitely want to play with that one a little bit more. However, I'm gonna zip down here for just a moment. Did you get yours?
That got me to Hull. That got me to 4.
Okay. You need to go to 5 though, right?
Yeah, I need to go to 5.
Okay, hang on a second. I'm gonna switch back to the ship I had last night. The plane Gagarin.
Ah.
Since I was getting a little bit better DPS out of that one. Jack, have you got another ship you want to work on?
Actually, I do. Just loading it up now.
Okay. Yeah, let me switch back over to whatever the heck the other one was called here. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. This is on my Hadfield, which I liked. So this is my regular Gagarin. Make sure everything stayed loaded.
Oh, didn't know this ship had the. Didn't know this ship could carry fighters too. Awesome.
Perfect. This one works beautifully.
What patrol we want to do next?
Let's do Wanted Argala.
All right. Launching.
Well, what? Make sure everybody's ready. Jack, are you ready?
Yeah, which one is it called again?
Wanted Argala.
Argala system. It's like second to last or something like that.
Okay. Well, okay. Launching now.
Join in moment.
Besides, it's taking me so long to load in. Sometimes it's going. I need the head start to get the map running, right?
Got to get the hamsters up to speed.
Yeah.
Everybody in?
I'm in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Still not moving yet. Like missile launches.
I'm liking this ship. I'm probably going to keep it as one of my mains.
It's a good ship.
Looks like our fight got them to notice us. Let's go over and ask if they're thawed.
I definitely like this one.
You gotta get used to the slow ass turn rate.
Well, you can fix turn rates.
Oh yeah. This was just a quick throw together.
It's one of the reasons while I'm not always that fond of the Iconian Arc, you can pick up the Polaric Modulator, which really helps. But there's a couple other consoles if you don't want to go that way. RCS helps.
And there's a tachyonic converter over in the Lotus supply next to the factory.
Yeah.
It's a lot more survivable right now, it seems. Change that to other side.
We do what we want, where we want.
Blast module's kind of an anime-looking thing, though, isn't it? As far as the Spiderwave Blast module into groups.
Yeah. Oops. I have a different keyboard and the feel is just not quite the same. Keys are slightly bigger, so... Oh, I know. The keys are slightly bigger. So I keep missing things and I'm winding up going in reverse when I'm trying to just fine-tune my adjustments.
If I really want to do that, I can always go, if I really want the anime feel, I could always do the Revolutionary set.
Revolutionary set's nice.
Yeah, I'm just going to pop there.
Whew. Whee oh whee, that was tough work.
Yeah. This won't win any DPS records, but it'll be...
No, definitely won't do that, but should work for doing some EXP.
Yeah, I was not really even putting out my best on that ship.
The joy of running it as a team doesn't matter.
Oh yeah.
But I think that's going to be my last run for the night because I do need to get myself ready to head out.
And that was almost a one and done. I got all the way up to tier 5 on it. Just got to get that final tier.
Excellent.
Oh,
well,
yeah,
that extra trait.
Huh? Yep, that extra trait. But
yeah,
what I
get tier 6 on this one, so or tier 5 on this one. I'm all happy.
What I wanted off the Odyssey was checkmate.
Yeah.
Exotic and projectile damage enhanced by control officer abilities. That's going on my crossfield. Yeah, that my EPG control build.
Mm-hmm.
That's going on my crossfield.
Nice. Okay, folks, I'm going to log off here. DT, do we want to raid somebody?
Let's see who's on.
Grumpy O'Nord, Pirate Scum, and Victoria.
Well, we raided Victoria. We raided Victoria last night. Want to raid Grumpy, or who do you want to raid?
Pirate Scum.
Do you want to set it up, or do you want me to do it?
I'm doing it right now.
Okay. So on behalf of the Darkmom Consortium, me and DT, and welcome back, Ver. Woohoo! Jack, thanks for joining us. That was a blast. It was a real pleasure flying with you. Hope that you'll join us again because I really like that.
I'll be around, guys.
Yay! All right. Next week we will focus on doing some leveling of tunes and ships, so we'll have that as our motif for the week before Thanksgiving. So everyone have a great night. DT, if you want to set up that raid, go for it. And
raid is up. I just got to hit the button.
Hit the button
now.
We'll see you guys tomorrow morning.
Later.
Bye.
Later, guys.